Alright, what's going on, guys? It is your boy TKD123 here, back here on PlayStation Source. So I beat the last major PS4 first party exclusive last week, that being Ghost of Tsushima. And while I have finished the main story, I've been spending more time doing the side missions I never got to play during the Ghost of Tsushima stream series, which you can see on the playlist on the channel, fully completed my full entire first Golden Path main mission Jin's Journey playthrough stream series. But I've also been hearing what other people have to say about the game, as well as, of course, specifically the game's ending. While talking about the nature of the end of the game, this will of course mean that there will be spoilers for the ending of the game, so continue at your own discretion and be wary of spoilers. But without further ado, here's my take on the end of Ghost of Tsushima. And before we get going on the analysis, make sure to leave a like on the video, as well as stay subscribed to PlayStation Source to keep up with the latest and greatest and PlayStation. Also, much feedback is appreciated. Let me know down below in the comments how you feel about these type of videos that are more kind of evergreen content, and make sure to let me know how you guys feel about the ending of Ghost of Tsushima. While the game's main protagonist is dealt with in the mission before the actual ending, before the credits roll, Jin Sakai must face another ending that to him I bet was just as frightening as the con. Uncle to Jin, Lord Shimura, asks if the two can meet to talk in the training grounds of the Sakai estate. The open area in a circular formation covered with red leaves was the focal point of the two, as Lord Shimura helped train Jin as a young man to be a noble samurai, just as his late father was, for the most part at least. This invitation gives Jin a lot of anxiety and unrest because of how wide the chasm has become between him and his uncle, by him becoming the Ghost of Tsushima and turning against the way of the samurai and the Bushido code as a whole. The chasm between them is so wide that when it comes to turn that Lord Shimura was going to adopt Jin as his own son rather than just a nephew once the Mongols were dealt with on Tsushima, and after seeing how far Jin strayed away from the samurai code, Lord Shimura throws the adoption papers in the fire, making it clear that there is no turning back for Jin and Lord Shimura in the relationship. However, Jin Sakai inevitably agrees to meet with Lord Shimura. They pay respect to the late father of Jin and brother to Lord Shimura, compose a haiku together, and it's revealed that Lord Shimura has been ordered to kill the Ghost of Tsushima as punishment for breaking the Bushido code of honor, in spite of being the person that killed the Khan and helped end the Mongol invasion. Uncle and nephew duel, and eventually Jin comes out on top. However, the first truly meaningful decision is given to the player in this last scene. With Sucker Punch's previous games dealing so much with player choice, specifically Infamous, it was very bold of them to have the player make this final decision beyond the usual dialogue choices sprinkled throughout the game. The choice given to the player was to honor Lord Shimura's last request by giving him an honorable death, or to go against what he wishes out of you and leave him alive. It's actually pretty incredible that the game left me with a choice this difficult for me to answer. Fuck. Guys, we gotta pick one now. We gotta pick one. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by its toe. How I played and interpreted Ghost of Tsushima and Jin's journey specifically was that Jin always had a great deal of respect and love for his uncle Shimura, even when they were at odds. Jin, strictly in my eyes, only went against the samurai way because of the enemies they faced. The samurai way just wasn't a match against the ruthless and unforgiving Mongols. They had no honor, no sense of respect in terms of a duel, and they did anything and everything they could to invade and rule over Tsushima. In a way, it was literally like they were cheating in Jin's eyes. A person that chooses to utilize aimbot, wall hacks, and invincibility is no match for a person that's just trying to play a game of Warzone. I truly believe that is how Jin viewed the Mongols, and while it was difficult, he had to become something more than a samurai to save his people and save Tsushima. Jin speaks a lot towards the end of the game about how the tactics of the samurai and how Lord Shimura plans to overthrow the Mongols would wind up killing many samurai in the process. Jin's way, while unhonorable in the eyes of Shimura and all samurai, was the most efficient and safest way to wage war against the Mongols, and I feel like Jin truly became the Ghost of Tsushima to save his people and save his home. Through all that he did, I also feel like he still loved Lord Shimura, even though he was breaking code and going against the teachings of his uncle. Not only love, but I also feel like he understood where Lord Shimura was coming from and respected his way of wanting to maintain honor at the heart of whatever war they interface with. So it really took me by surprise to see multiple people going on YouTube to claim that not killing Shimura was the good ending and killing him was a bad ending, because the way I played and interpreted the game, the labels are opposites in my eyes. To lay out there completely, Nate Fox, creative director of Ghost of Tsushima at Sucker Punch, came onto the Kinda Funny spoiler cast of the game and said that the quote-unquote canon ending is to spare Shimura, as that's what the Ghost of Tsushima would do.
So the true ending would be Jin leaving his uncle alive and saying,
Okay,
"I
good.
don't care about your rules. I'm past that now. I'm something else. I'm the ghost."
But I honestly don't know if that's what Jin would do. To play devil's advocate, Jin to a degree has to come to terms with who he has become in order to free Tsushima. He fought in dishonorable ways, poisoned Mongols, and completely disregarded the Bushido Code. It's what makes him dishonorable in the eyes of the Shogun and Lord Shimura himself. In other words, if it looks like a duck, sounds like a duck, and acts like a duck, more often than not, it's a duck. And so assuming the label of the ghost must come with the notion of, if Jin isn't going to follow the Bushido Code, why even follow any of the code? Why do something you don't want to do, which is kill your family, just for the code? For what? Because I was raised samurai and I must follow the Bushido Code? The same code that if I hadn't followed, the entire island of Tsushima would likely be ruled by the Mongols? That's why I love the choice at the end, because I could truly see it from both sides. And I commend Nate Fox for giving us a canon ending, but I'm still on the side of leaving Lord Shimura and not killing him is the true ghost ending. It's surely what the Ghost of Tsushima would want, but I'm not convinced it's what Jin Sakai would want. Jin Sakai throughout the game made it very clear that he is becoming the ghost to save Tsushima and its people. He sees it as the only way through, and in all honesty, it probably was the only way through. But becoming the ghost didn't magically erase the love and respect Jin has for his uncle Shimura, as stated before. He even snuck into the Shimura estate in Act 3 to contact his uncle to let him know where the Khan is, and if he wanted to assist them, they could use his support with the other samurai, which is after Shimura had him jailed for poisoning the Mongols and wanted him to blame Yuna so the Shogun would punish her instead of him. Not very honorable, Lord Shimura. Not very honorable. The fact that Jin went back to Lord Shimura's estate in Act 3 to try to get his assistance in overthrowing the Mongols and the Khan when they found the location of them just shows how much respect and love that Jin has towards Lord Shimura. And in the first place, he snuck in there because he knew that if they were to see him, Lord Shimura would easily capture him again, put him up in the jail, and send him off to the mainland to face the Shogun and probably inevitably face death anyway. But to me, it's very clear that in spite of all that, in spite of all the risk, Jin still did that notion to be able to get Lord Shimura's support, because I assume that he would have definitely wanted Lord Shimura a part of the overthrowing of the Mongols off of his samurai ties and his respect towards Lord Shimura. To me, it's clear that Jin still had a great deal of love and respect for his uncle. From the day of Jin's dad's funeral to the moment the player is given the decision of Shimura's fate, I believe that Jin loved his one and only family throughout everything they had been through. So very ironically, I feel that through the love that Jin possessed for Lord Shimura, giving him an honorable death would be what Jin would do. Although the name of the game isn't Jin of Tsushima, if you want to end the game the canon way, you're going to have to go against Lord Shimura's requests and spare his life as you truly walk away, leaving all of the samurai way and the Bushido Code behind as the Ghost of Tsushima. But based off of the love that Jin clearly showed through Lord Shimura throughout everything they've been through, I really feel that the way to end the game in my eyes is the Jin way of ending the game as opposed to the Ghost way of ending the game, which is to give Lord Shimura an honest and honorable death, which even though it hurt, I really did chose that because I feel that overall Jin has much more love for Lord Shimura than a wantingness to become the Ghost of Tsushima, even though he did want to become that and did become that to save the people of Tsushima. But most importantly, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What did you guys choose during this last bit of decision making in Ghost of Tsushima? Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that it is the right way, is the wrong way? Which one do you think is good? Which one do you think is bad? Let me know your thoughts thoughts down in the comments below. And make sure also while you are down there to check out our description where you can find our Twitter, our Discord, as well as an Anchor link to listen to long form content and podcasts. So like that, of course, being Road to Ghost of Tsushima and much more Road to series in the future. Also, while you're down there, hit that join button if you deem so worthy, as well as there's a link in the description to become a member of the PlayStation Source channel. Become a Prince tier or a King tier. Prince tier with that $1 tier, King tier for that $5 tier. You get exclusive emojis, badges, as well as shout outs in every video and podcast that we do. Shout out to my boy Owen. Much love to you, my good sir. Thank you all for watching the video. Like it if you enjoyed it, as well as subscribe to PlayStation Source to keep up with the latest and greatest in PlayStation. Thank you all for watching, and as always, greatness awaits.